How may I help you?
I want to open a staking account.
The chairman awaits you.
Welcome to GSB. Here are your staking options. Are you ready for staking? Now you are ready.
Man, I love that video. That thing is so cool. Hello, everybody. Hey, good night, good evening, good morning. It just depends on where you're at in this awesome world we live in. This is Daniel coming to you for a short, brief episode of Daniel's Den. Listen, we just heard from our amazing millionaire mentor, Mr. Ty Bass. Let me show you something here. There's this amazing book by Robert Kiyosaki. He talks about real money, he talks about fake assets, fake teachers, and fake money, right? So one of the things that he talks about in this book is how to identify real teachers, real assets, real money, right? So love that book. Definitely get it, scoop it up. It's inexpensive. You can get it in Amazon. And we have an author that we're going to share his short video for today, Mr. Ty Bass. He talked specifically about the seed, and everything is seed, time, and harvest. Everything is seed, time, and harvest. The gentleman we're going to hear from, I'm going to play a short clip because if you're following me on YouTube, you know I just uploaded the full video for this amazing conversation that Mr. Ty Bass just had. He's been financially free now for over 26 years. His sons have never applied for a job. His wife lived financially free for 30 years, over 30 years. She just recently passed away this February, but she's been living a free lifestyle for years, and he was able to continue. Listen to what I'm saying. He was able to continue to spend time with her day in and day out, no matter what the situation was, because they were both financially free. So one of the great things it talks about in that book from Robert Kiyosaki is that you want to learn from people who have an experience. If someone has an experience and you have that similar goal, like if you're looking for financial freedom, you want to hang out with the person who's financially free. If you're looking to remove debt, you want to hang out with the person who's debt free. All right. And let me put a little light on me here. I failed to do that earlier, right? So it's a simple thing. Brother Eric Toure Muhammad says it all the time. You know, success is a study of the obvious. Study successful people. And we get to connect with this gentleman. He is definitely on the level of a Les Brown or a Tony Robbins when it comes to speaking, motivation, and he's doing it. Again, real teacher. He's doing it day in and day out, day in and day out, inspiring people, helping people all around the world. All right, so let's present and reintroduce to others Mr. Ty Best, the CEO and founder of Wealth Builders Worldwide, an organization that is amassing wealth. We are Wealth Builders Worldwide. All we're doing is amassing wealth. I'm so sorry we don't have anything really to sell you. We have information to give you, and we want to encourage you to amass assets. We want you to start acquiring assets and saving. I paused for dramatic effect, but let me get this started up. We're going to be in and out. We're going to watch a short glimpse of Mr. Ty Best. If you want the full video, if you didn't see it on Facebook, or if you're following me right now on Twitter, you want to hang out with me on YouTube, there's a live video of Mr. Ty Best doing this whole discussion. I'm only going to shoot or show a short clip of it, and then you want to get this content. You want to glean information from other successful individuals. Success leaves clues. And man, there's a whole lot of clues that he's throwing out in this video.
All day, and really for the last couple of days, I want to call this the power is the seed. The power is the seed. S-E-E-D is the seed. I'm going to talk about that in a minute because this whole thought been going around in my head. Good evening, Mr. Nate Hines. Good evening to you, Mr. Nate, Mr. Jack Tissy himself. Hey, my brother Kevin Millender, Glenn Perkins, man. God almighty. I'm going to tell you, every time I see Glenn Perkins' name, all I think about is that guy on the baseball team, like a Lou Brock. I know old school people don't know who Lou Brock was, but he's that guy on that baseball team. He bats about 290. You know, he's not on the front of the magazine. He ain't making the all-star team every year after year. He might make it every now and then, but 20 years later, you look up, he got a career batting average of 290. Okay, he done stole 1,000 bases. He done all that stuff. He said, now, who is this guy? He said, that was Glenn Perkins, man. He said, he played 22 seasons in the majors. You go, but did he ever make the all-star team? He made it once or twice. Okay. But he had a 20-plus year career, and he's going to get nominated to the Hall of Fame after about 3 tries. Because they're going to say, man, nobody had a career like this dude. He just like the Energizer Bunny. He ain't running 90 miles an hour down the highway. He just 60 miles an hour, year after 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 year. And when it's all said and done, you go, wow. Okay. Hey, Miss Wanda Pinkley Loft up there in Buffalo. Hey, Miss Tanisha Glaspie, how you doing? Tanisha Glaspie, Frankie Burns. Assalamu alaikum, Brother Ibn Ray Muhammad. There's another one. There's Gail. Look. Okay, Gail Heath, good evening to you. Gail and Royal. I mean, what can I say? Another one, Dana Raines. So you got, man, look, but don't you guys, it's Saturday. You should be at a party. You be watching TV, doing something. Okay, but no. You dream chasers chasing the dream, okay? And that's why one thing I like to do Saturday, because Saturday is hardcore out there, and so I also like to do these because a live stream, because you can also take them. I'm not gonna be long. You can also take them and share them with friends and relatives, and I can say things to your friends and relatives that you can't say. So let me go ahead and start. I call this the power is the seed. So first, I said, well, first thing we got to do is what is a seed? So it's just like when I talk about freedom. One thing I learned, I talk about freedom so much. People say, why you talk about freedom so much? Because most people don't know what freedom is. Hey, Miss Cherie Pierce, good evening. Most people don't know what freedom is. They really don't know. Okay, so we come on talking about freedom, and they I think I'm already free. And we have to tell them, no, you're not free. It's and I know I step on toes. I said, freedom is when you can wake up 5, 6, 7 days a week and do what you want to do. That's freedom. Freedom is not Saturday and Sunday off to watch football, baseball, basketball, and play on the weekends, or you got the night off and sleep. No, that's not freedom. But most people don't know they are enslaved. Like Harriet Tubman says, she said, I could have led more people to freedom if they only knew they were enslaved. Well, it's the same thing. We're here in this networking industry talking about being free, but most people think they're already free. That's why people all the time you talk to them, because they find themselves making 89, 100, maybe even $200,000 a year. They say, I'm good. And they don't know they're good. And I make the statement, I said, look, If your income is based on your ability to perform, you are a financial disaster waiting to happen. It's just a matter of time. And people don't get this, okay? I thank God every day. To God be the glory. I mean it. I humbly mean it. To God be the glory. I thank God every day when I wake up in the morning and I'm free. And I say, I thank God, to God be the glory. Why I, at 28 years old, heard this message, got the message, internalized the message, and believed it. I was just on the phone talking to Eric Teray, and I said, because we was talking about some situations. And I said, look, when I was 20 years old, and I heard the guy on stage said, 95% of the people after working 40 to 45 years will be broke. He said, if you don't believe me, just look around, look at all the folks who already been working 25 to 30 years and ask yourself, do you want their lifestyle? Now, I'm sitting in the room. He said that to like 200, 300 people. Now, I'm sitting there and I started to think. I thought about aunts, uncles, cousins, teachers, anybody I knew that was already 50, 55, 60 years old, and asked myself that I want their lifestyle. And within minutes, my mind calculated emphatically came back, no, not just no, and emphatically H-E-double-L-L, no. I said no. Now, I don't, now, that was theory, because I'm 28 years old, okay? And when you're young, you believe the world is your oyster. So, but I'm 28, but I believe them. They said, now, if you want to live differently than the masses, you better do something different. I believe them, so I went down a different road. Now, 38 years have gone by. Now, I'm not going on theory. I'm going on experience now. Okay? That 95% he talks about, they are my peers. They are my friends. And most of them worked till they were 65 years old. Many of them are still working right now, or either they're dead, they're still working, or they tired, they broke, they busted, and disgusted. And that's the flat out truth. I ain't criticizing. It's just the truth. They on walkers, they in wheelchairs, they've had heart attacks, they've had strokes, some of them still working, and almost all of them are still broke. And that's the truth. Not theory. I've watched this. Every time somebody died, having a GoFundMe, raising money, because for GoFundMe, GoFund this, GoFund that, when they had 40 years to get it together. They said, when we know better, we should do better. Now I'm off track for what I want to talk about. But I'm saying this is, I'm not talking to you guys listening, because you guys who are on the call listening, this is for you to send out to your family, friends, and relatives, because they won't get mad at you when you send this out. Deborah Nixon, Daniel Higgins, they'll get mad at me. They'll say, who that guy Ty Bass is telling me I'm broke? Okay? But my definition of broke, if you got to sell your time for money, you broke, because only broke people do that. Wealthy people don't sell their time for money. Now, ain't nothing wrong with being broke. It's something wrong with not fighting to get out of that condition once you know better. You got a multi-billionaire worth $60 billion saying, until you learn how to earn money in your sleep, you're going to work till you die. Warren Buffett said that. I didn't say that. Okay, Warren Buffett said that. Warren Buffett said, definition of broke. What's definition of broke? Is you sell your time for money. Okay, definition of broke is the minute you can't show up for work, you don't have any money, then you broke. You got to put yourself in a position where you got an asset lifestyle, where you got assets generating, covering your lifestyle. Then you're protected to a degree, unless the government do something crazy. But other than that, if you got to go sell your time, you are a financial disaster waiting to happen. And that's the truth. And my frustration, I'm not frustrated about this business at all. I love this business. I love what we do. But to God be the glory. I thank God every day. At 20 years old, the guy said that, and I believe them. So for you young folks out there, 30 years old, Asha L, Matthew Taylor, you guys believe me. Miss Keisha just got involved in the business. I want to say young. I got it wrong. Got her last name wrong. And Ayani and all young folks, believe me. Believe what I'm sharing with you. Okay? Statistics, numbers don't lie. And there's a reason for that. The whole system is designed to keep you broke, so it's not your fault. It's your fault once you know better. But the system is designed to keep you broke. The system is designed to put you in bondage at 21, 22 years old and keep you in bondage your entire life. And by the time you figure out what you've done, that 35 or 40 years, you too broke, tired, or broke down to really do anything about it in most cases, or to do much about it. You can fight. Well, anyway, we got a solution. So let me get off that. The power is the seed. Okay? So now, you know what freedom is? Freedom is it's not an option. It is an absolute necessity. And you're going to pay the price today for freedom, or you're going to pay the price for not paying it later. Okay? You find yourself 60 years old, you ain't going to want to get up and do something 5 days a week. Man, I got to bed today at 5 o'clock. Yeah, I did. Now, I did some stuff while I was in bed. I worked from bed like Tanisha did. I worked from bed. I watched a class in session from bed. And then I called into the huddle from bed. I talked on the huddle. And then I called the power call from bed. I fell asleep during the power call, woke back up during the power call. And then after the power call, I sent out a bunch of texts from bed. I did 3 ways from bed. And then finally at 5 o'clock, I dozed off about 1 o'clock to 5 o'clock. Then I got up and said, man, let me go do some work. And I've been working since 5 o'clock. I work when I want to work. Lord, I love this business. Okay? And then went in there and closed out 2 more lifetime no's. I said, man, let me close out these 2 no's. That's right. Went in and got me a bunch more XLT, smashed the button about 10, 15 times a day, and then bought me a bunch of XL, closed out 2 no's. 1 more for Alex, 1 more for me. Okay? Okay? I'm planting that seed. Okay, let me get back to my talk so we can get out here in about 10 minutes. Hey, Yvonne Berry. Hey, Kevin Miller. Okay, I'm fired up. That's right. I went to sleep 5:30 this morning. Doggone Renee Gant waking me up at 7 o'clock. I'm talking about you, Renee. It's not your fault. It's not your fault. That's not a criticism, because I got the right to answer the phone and not answer the phone. But I like serious people. She was up. I saw the following. I said, it's Renee Gant. I said, well, I know she's a serious person. Let me answer the phone. And if it was Billy Bob, I would say I talked to him late in the afternoon. Oh, God, let me stop. Okay, I'm going to have some fun. Okay, let me tell you what I'm talking about. Why? So what is a seed? Watch this. Did you know a seed is a noun and a verb? A seed is one of those words that's a noun and a verb. The noun is that thing you plant to reproduce. A seed was designed, created to be planted to reproduce in its own kind. They said the fruit don't fall from the tree. Okay, you must plant a seed to be multiplied. I made an audio message a long time ago that said plant the seed. Robert Schuller said, first time I ever heard it was what? Anyone can count the seeds in an apple, but only God can count the apples in a seed. The noun, seed noun, was designed to be planted. Okay, but there's also seed as a verb. It's what you do with that seed. That's planting the what? The seed. So you can seed a seed. Woo, boy. I'm preaching this afternoon, this evening. And watch this. The challenge, this is something they should have been teaching us in high school. Now, no matter who you are, we are all born with stuff to be planted. We all have seed within us to be planted. Now, I'm not talking about the physical seed. We know about that. We can reproduce and create each other and all that. Let's talk about some seed that we all have. I'm not talking about your finance. We're going to get to that. I'm going to talk about all the seed. First seed you have is energy. Energy is a seed. What are you doing with your energy? Now, your parents decide what you do with your energy from about 1 to 18 years old. Not quite. You still got some decision there by the time you become a teenager. But let's just say from 1 to 18, let's just say you don't have complete control over that seed, that energy seed. What you do with it? Do you invest it in playing sports? Do you invest in learning an instrument? Do you invest in your education? Or you playing? If you look at some of the folks who achieve a certain amount of success at 18, 19, 20 years old, they'll tell you they were inside practicing that violin and looking out the window as the other kids were on the street playing. You talk to athletes, they were up 5 o'clock in the morning. They were running, lifting weights with their other friends on the street playing. Their other kids out there playing, and they were investing that energy as a young person. People admire Michael Jackson for being a star by the time he was 13, 14 years old, but he'd been investing energy in his craft from the time he was 2 or 3 years old. They look at Beyonce, they admire the fact that she was a superstar by the time she was 18 years old, but she knew what she wanted to do. She was investing that energy seed in her craft when she was 3, 4, 5 years old. She knew she wanted to be a star. That's why people look at professional athletes and they get all gaga. The guy at 22 years old, he just signed a contract for $20 million. And I go, yeah, but you don't understand the investment, the price he paid. He didn't wake up at 19 years old and say, I want to be in the NFL or I want to be in the NBA. Okay, that person been after that thing since he was 8, 9, or 10 years old. Been running around the country playing AAU ball, parents driving all over the country. That's a price to be paid. That's energy, seed energy, being planted in the future. Most of us, we waste. Most people waste our energy, especially our youth for energy. In the book Think and Grow Rich, where I'd encourage you all to get a copy of and read it incessantly, read it all the time, Napoleon Hill talks about sexual transmutation. He said, most men do not achieve in life till they're 40 plus years old. Why? Because we spend all our youth running around chasing women. All that energy that could be spent and put in a productive place, we spend most of it doing what? At clubs at night, doing around partying, having a good time, and chasing after women. And you find the most productive men settle down early in age, most, not all, always exception, settle down early in age. Why? Because all that energy they spent running around 5 and 6 nights a week in the hunt for a good time, they take that energy and transfer it into their career of some kind. That's that energy. Ask yourself, I'm talking to young folks, what are you doing with your energy? What are you doing? Look, from 22 to 20, I know what I do with mine. I'm going to tell you, I discoed. I partied from 22 to 26. I'm saying from 22 to 26. And then at 26, I got bored. After about 3 years apart, I got bored. And I started going to the gym. Val and I started going to the gym. We wasted energy from 22 to 26 because we didn't know. We got out of school and said, what do you do now? Well, you work from 8:35 and you party at night. Well, you young, 22 years old. Man, you got nothing but energy. I can remember literally coming home at 22 saying, what do you do all energy? Party all night. I can remember at 23 years old, party, come home at 6 o'clock, take a shower and go to work. All nothing but energy. And it's wasted. Just don't. I know what to do with it. I didn't have any mentor. I didn't have any counselor. You know, you can take that energy and you can do something productive. What I was doing, what society told me to do, what society was doing. I was following the masses, doing everybody do that seed energy. I do what everybody else do with that seed energy. I played heavy. I didn't have an entrepreneur mentor who said, man, take the energy. I mean, I did my job. But that was my job. And some days I worked 16, 12 hours, 13 hours doing my job. I got promoted on my job. I did the job. But I didn't know how to take that energy, that youthful energy, and apply it to an entrepreneur endeavor. And I didn't know what kind of entrepreneur endeavor to apply it to. And I didn't have the background to start one, and we tried, but that's a long story. I don't want to get too far apart. Then at 26, Val, I said, okay, we need to redirect that energy. We had a lot of ideas. We never got off the ground. But at 26, we directed that energy to lifting weights. And we was going to come mixed pass competition because we understood we'd work. And we lived in the gym from about 26 to 28 years old, 25, 26. We lived in the gym. I'm talking about 3-4 hours a day. We're in the gym. We're in the gym, man. We read the Fitness magazine, and we were big fans of Arnold Schwarzenegger and Sammy, Ernie Dickinson, Chris Dickinson, all the body. I mean, it was seriously the body. You have no idea, man. I had 28-inch waist, delts up to here, man. Val was 130 pounds, man. We lived in the gym. Okay, we was going to become mixed pass champions. We were going to do it. We trying to figure out how to become stars. We're going to do this thing. And then at 20 years old, somebody introduced us to networking. And I got those stats I just shared with you. We took all that energy that was in the gym and started applying all that time energy. So what are you doing with your time? Time is energy. That's a seed. That's seed. And what are you doing with it? So you got the energy of youth. You got the energy of time. What are you doing with your time? Average person spending 40 hours a week in front of that doggone television. Even right now, today, that's seed time, man. You can be planting that time somewhere else. If you plant time, you're going to get time. You plant energy, you're going to get energy. You plant money, you're going to get money. The power is the seed. You got to know what your seed is. So you say, I don't have any money to plant. But you have time and you have energy. Where networking comes in, all you need is time, energy, and a dream. If you got the dream and you direct the energy, that time, man, the future is your oyster. You can do whatever you want to do. Okay? And then the one I really want to get to is money. That's the verb. Where are you planting that ultimate seed? That's your money. See, nobody ever told us that the money, that the dollar bills, that's seed. That's seed. We hear Mr. Dalco talk about, are you putting your seed to work or are you eating your seed? Most of us, we eat our seed. Okay? I heard Mike Murdoch say 20 years ago, if it's not enough money to take care of you for the rest of your life, then it's just a seed. Some folks that are still whining because they got in some network opportunity. They spend $100 or $300 or $2,000 or $1,500 or whatever. Or they try some business idea and it didn't work because they put $200 over here, $1,500 over here, and they still whining about it 3, 4, 5 years later. Some 10 years later. They whining about it. Whining? No, it was a seed. Okay? If you put $300 in a business or $500 in a business, look, $1,000 in business, that's $1,000 not going to change your life. It was a seed. And I heard they said, man, if it's not enough to change your life and your family's life for generation, then God gave it to you as a seed. What are you doing with that seed?
My goodness. Woo! Man, I love hearing from Mr. Ty Bass. Listen, guys, if you want to see the rest of this, especially if you're following me on Twitter, follow and find me on YouTube at dhiggins2830 on YouTube. And of course, I have other great content on there, but this is amazing content. He talked about a seed of energy. A lot of people never really connect those two. Your energy is a seed. So how you sow that can help you develop what? More energy, because seed is always like with like, right? So financial seeds too. You just touched on it very briefly. You're going to want to hear the rest of that. You definitely want to hear the rest of that. So jump on my YouTube page is dhiggins2830. If you're on Facebook, you're a little spoiled because you got this and you have that already on my timeline, right? You got a little bit of everything. You're a little spoiled, right? Because you got everything right there at your fingertips, right? But no, get back with the person sharing this information with you. Let's put you in position where you're investing and using your time the best way possible, that you're using your energy the best way possible to develop things that's going to help you create more and more passive income without the need to really do anything but succeed. All right. So I'll see you guys on the next live stream. Thank you for hanging out today, tonight, this afternoon. We will see you around Monday night. We have a live event tomorrow night. It's called The Main Event. You do not want to miss it. Our leaders are coming together from all different walks of life, and they're going to share part of their success stories and then also break down this whole business. I didn't talk anything about the business today. This is all motivational, inspirational. You want to connect with the person sharing this content with you. You want to get back with them immediately. So you get your free registration so that you can start moving forward and start amassing wealth however you want to do it, as a customer or as a partner. Okay, so thank everybody for your time. Have a good day, night, afternoon. Just depends on where you're at in this awesome world we've been given to live on.